dedicated towards a single brand and you're one person by yourself putting in a few hours a day trying to compete, it's going to become harder and harder. They're going to get further and further ahead of you. That's why we teach you inside of the real world to use artificial intelligence. We have a whole AI campus so you can get a machine helper to help you do the work. If you're sitting here watching this and you're not currently making money with the machine mind, then you're failing, because you can join therealworld.com and learn how to use the machines to earn money. I use AI for everything. But if you refuse to learn, then you deserve the eternal slavery which is coming for you and your bloodline. That's what's going to happen. There's no way to escape it, right? So when I say you don't have time, this is something you need to remember because it's extremely important and you can apply it to most things. You do not have time to have a headache. Do you understand? I'm not saying you don't have a headache. I'm not saying your head doesn't hurt. You can be gay. Some people are gay. But you don't have time for it to affect your life. You do not have the waking hours. You are being outcompeted and crushed by people who have no interest in your sovereign capabilities as a human to make free choice, by people who intend to enslave you, by people who are more powerful and more connected than you'll possibly ever be, by people who know things you do not know. You do not have time to have a headache. It's simply not acceptable. How do you perform when you have headaches is a stupid question. The fact you've even framed it in that way shows that you don't understand the world. I'll give you another example. You don't have time to argue with your woman. Your woman started an argument today or yesterday, whenever, and you've been texting back and forth. You don't have time. You have things to do. There's unlimited work in the universe. If you don't know what work to do, join the real world. We'll give you the work. We'll guarantee you money. We'll guarantee you success. Take that money, join the war room, take that money, buy Daddy Coin, wait for it to blow up. That's going to stake, increase your power level, and you can be a multimillionaire. You don't have time to have a headache or message stupid girls or scroll Instagram or DM whores. You don't have time for any of these things. Time is your lifeblood. It's all you've got. You can turn time into reputation. You could turn time into global fame. You could turn time into respect. You could turn time into a fantastic body. You could do anything with your time. You could choose a random embassy. You could choose a random country that you have beef with. I don't know. Chile. And you could go stand outside the Chilean embassy with a sign saying, "Down with Chile." For no reason. But if you stood there every single day, after about 2 years, people would be like, who is this guy? And why does he hate Chile so much? You can convert 2 years of your time into a BBC News interview to begin a global conversation on the terrible history and colonial past and the horrible things that Chile have done, which is not currently discussed. You can turn your time into anything you want. So how are you going to waste it sitting around saying, I have a headache? Boo, boo, I have a headache. Are you gay? Maybe you're gay. But the question is framed incorrectly. If I have a headache, I don't care. And one of the main reasons I don't care is because my enemy doesn't care. You know, when I got injured when I was training for fights, my coach would often say to me, is your enemy going to hit you less or show you mercy because of this injury? If you say, okay, we're about to fight, but halfway through the training camp, I hurt my foot, so, take it easy. No, he's going to try and destroy me anyway. So if he doesn't care, why do I care? And why does my coach care? Nobody cares. The people who are trying to steal your woman, and trust me, everyone is. The people who are trying to take the money that you want to earn and put it in their pocket before you can. The people who want to have large and gorgeous feathers on their peacock to show the world all the amazing things they've done. They don't care that you have a headache. So why do you care? You need to reprogram your mind. You don't have time to have a headache. You don't have time to be doing the majority of things you do. If I'm timing myself drinking water to try and do it as quickly as possible, you certainly don't have time to sit around talking about a boo-boo inside your head. That makes you gay. And there's always been and always will be tiers, right? There's always going to be a hierarchy. There's going to be different echelons of success. There's always going to be kings, emperors, oligarchs, and there's going to be the peasants below. It is your job to try your very best to escape peasantry. Even if you don't reach the highest possible level, at least escape peasantry. We were talking earlier about competence, right? And we could talk about that again. Do you think a woman sees you as competent if you complain about having a headache? Let's say you have a headache. It's fine. You have a headache. I'm not disputing that. Maybe it really hurts. That's terrible. If you go, oh, I've got such a bad headache. Do you think a woman looks at you and goes, yes. Oh, I found the guy for me. She may not say anything. She may say, oh, do you want a pill? But really, deep down in her vagina, she's thinking, this guy's a dickhead. I mean, if you got hit in the head with a hammer or shot in the face, fine. But why do you have a headache? From what? Scrolling TikTok. And then you want to message me and ask why you can't win in the real world. A lot of you deserve the failure you endure. The universe is very giving. I often believe, people say the world's not fair. I'd argue that karmic retributions, and in the long run, all in all, is pretty fair. That's why I made all of this clear when I launched Daddy Coin and I refused to scam anyone. I said no, because I believe in karmic retributions. I believe if I do the right thing and stick by my coin, it's going to go to $1 billion. Because I'm going to push it for the next 10 years. It's going to go to $1 billion. It has to. There's no way it can't. I'll be free and I'll do a global tour and we'll fill up stadiums and it's going to go to $1 billion. Karmic retributions are real. In the end, God gives you exactly what you deserve. So if you're not happy with your life, you have to ask yourself, do you really deserve more? Have you really tried 100% of the time? Did you ignore that headache? Are you as competent as you could possibly be? Have you given 100% every time you've done anything? No. You deserve what you have. You deserve your mediocrity because you're an average person. You want a Lambo and these women and a boat and whatever else you want because you see it on Instagram. But wanting something and deserving something are very different things. If you truly deserved it, you'd be working for it in a way that ensures it would be given to you by the universe. Every single thing I've ever wanted, I have got. Maybe not instantly, maybe not easily. In fact, certainly not both. It was always difficult and it always took time. But I really wanted them, so I always got them. And I put in enough work to show God and show the universe I deserve them, so he gave them to me. I cannot remember a single time, and I state this as a matter of fact, this is not hyperbole, this is not top G joking. I cannot remember a single time I have ever decided not to do something that must be done because I had a headache. Ever. Ever. So your question is gay. You do not have time to have headaches. It's a stupid question, and you should know better. Let's read the super chats quickly, guys. Super chat number 1. I'm a council member. The council are a select group of students inside of the real world who are at the highest possible echelon of achievement and networking. My buddy Chris is struggling with females right now. Should he stay with a woman who treats him terribly? It'll impact him a lot coming from you. Well, I don't know the ins and outs of his entire scenario. I don't know his entire situation, right? I don't know all the ups and downs, who this woman is, why she treats him terribly, etc. But what did I just say about deserve? So he has to decide, does he deserve the treatment he's currently getting? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Is she being terrible to him because he's sitting around and says he has a headache, like the last gay boy who just asked me a question? Maybe he deserves a woman who doesn't respect him to try and encourage him. Maybe her attacking him is an attempt to inspire him to be his best self. Maybe he deserves. Oh, hi. Maybe he deserves the treatment he's currently getting. Maybe he doesn't. So what a lot of it's about is deservedness. It comes down to whether your friend deserves the treatment or not. He has to be honest with himself, honest with you, and you have to be honest with him and say, listen, bro, you deserve what you're getting. What is this? Oh, fine. Thanks. So bye. So it's very difficult for me to answer this question. What I would say is that if he didn't deserve the treatment he's getting, he wouldn't accept it. And I can say that as a matter of fact because when you tolerate something, you're admitting you deserve it. Do you understand how it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy? If you tolerate something, you're admitting you deserve that thing. If he knew in his heart he deserved better and he was adamant of it, he would have no problem leaving her because he knows he can do better. But perhaps he's thinking maybe I can't do better because maybe this is all I deserve. You're going to get exactly what you deserve in life. From women, from masculine friendship, financially, respect on the street, luck. You get the luck you deserve. If you try your very best in all things and you pray and you're really thankful to God and you say thank you all the time, you start to become very lucky. Lucky things start to happen. You get the luck you deserve when you try. It's truly remarkable. Next super chat. Does the War Room have a network in Romania? I'm based in Romania and trying really hard to find like-minded men to help them grow. Yeah, 100% we do. We have a network nearly everywhere. We just finished an event today in Marbella. We have 2 events a week all around the globe. Malaysia, Singapore, to Miami, Alaska, Wales, UK, all across Europe, South Africa. We're the largest online fraternity of masculine brotherhood in the world. And we do have a huge network in Romania. Of course, I'm here in Romania myself. You can find more about the War Room at cobratate.com. But masculine brotherhood has been the basis of keeping you accountable since the dawn of human time, right? The reason men charged at the gunfire is because everyone else charged at the gunfire and they don't want to be the only pussy who doesn't do it. It's very easy for you to become the best version of yourself if all the men around you are pushing you all of the time. And they're ensuring that they are being their best selves. You're supposed to operate in a gang, in an army, in a unit, which is constantly pushing and striving towards successes. This is what you're supposed to do. You always have. This is why even boxers, although they fight alone, they train as part of a camp with other boxers. You're always pushing yourself all of the time. That's the primary objective of masculinity, is to leave your mark on the world. And it's easiest to do that if you have brothers behind you who are pushing you to be your best self. That's what the War Room is for. So we have networks everywhere. You can find out more about the War Room at cobratate.com. I'll show you some videos from Malaysia at the end of this stream. Super chat. I'm 16 from Romania. Make about 20K a month. Congratulations. 20K a month at 16 is incredible money. Absolutely incredible. It's actually amazing that you guys can make this kind of money. Because when I was 16, there was no internet money. There was no Facebook. There was no YouTube. There was no anything. When I was 16, nobody made 20K a month. Bankers didn't make 20K a month. Rich 50-year-old men didn't make 20K a month. There was no crypto. There was nothing. When I was 16, there was minimum wage jobs. That is it. We're living in a degree of social mobility that never existed before. That 16-year-olds can make this kind of money online. It's truly incredible. Think about it. Absolutely remarkable. I'm inside the Real World Council. I don't see the point in going to school anymore since I learned nothing. What are your thoughts? Well, I don't know what you're doing for money, but the first thing you need to do is diversify. You need to go inside the real world. You need to focus. I need to learn other ways to make money so you have backups. I don't know what you're doing to make money. I'm not going to tell you to not go to school, but education and learning and improving yourself and bettering yourself never ends. That is a path which even I'm still on at the ripe old age of 37. So if you feel like school isn't teaching you anything, that's fine. But you need to then find a place where you can learn something. You can go to the fight gym and learn all about philosophy by getting your ass kicked. You can join the War Room and learn all about masculine brotherhood and competition. We just had the Crucible today in Marbella. I'll put videos up shortly. But you need to be constantly educating, push yourself, and evolving. Because you're only 16. You're still a child. Your educational days are not over. They've only just begun, sir. Next super chat. What are my thoughts on Trump getting shot at in Florida today? The Real World student here. Just completed my first kickboxing session yesterday. My evolution has begun. Thank you for igniting the fire in my blood. Congratulations, sir. I hope you take it very seriously when you're training, like we were saying earlier today. Trump's in a very precarious scenario, and he's in a very precarious position, and I think he knows he is. The whole Western world is. The Western world is currently balancing on the precipice. And the divide in the Western world is basically between people who take self-accountability and want to be in charge of their own lives, and the other side of people who want someone else to be in charge of them to fix their problems for them. And anyone who is competent and capable trusts themselves over they trust anyone else because they know other people are self-interested. There's never going to be somebody who wakes up and thinks, I need to dedicate my life to making that person's life better. And I don't care about myself. I only care about improving that one person's life. I'm going to save up and buy a Ferrari for them. That's not how it works. So people who are competent think, I trust myself to improve my life because nobody's going to care about it as much as me. But people who are not competent want some other competent person in charge. Even worse, they'll say, I want this person in charge of my life, even though that person isn't competent at all. They just want to absolve responsibility. So this is the position we're currently in the West. You have the two teams of people who want to be left alone and left to their own devices, and people who want big daddy or mommy government to come along and fix every single ailment they believe that is afflicting them. And it's becoming more and more scary. And the reason it's scary is because as the world gets harder and harder and people struggle to prove their competence, as people struggle to succeed, more and more people are going to advocate towards government come help me, advocate towards the nanny state. And what the government's simply going to do is enslave everybody. That's all it's going to do. It doesn't have any interest in making you all free individuals. It has no interest in sitting there going, how do we make everybody free and happy and rich? No. It wants you all to be enslaved, doing exactly as it says, doing its bidding. That's the end goal of the government. So Trump is perhaps the last hope of the Western world, but even if Trump wins, he can only delay the raw. I don't think he can stop it or turn it around. What's going to happen after Trump is gone? A lot of people here watching this are 16, 18, 19 years old. You're going to see 5 or 6 more presidents before you're my age. Who are they even going to be? Nobody knows. Are they going to be as charismatic as Trump? I doubt it. As capable as Trump? I doubt it. Politics is over. The Western world has a lot of enemies which are uniting against it. BRICS and the global South, the second world. A lot is coming for America now and the West as we know it. Times are going to get hard. What did I say about making the brave choice? What did I say about having a masculine network inside of the war room? What did I say about making as much money inside of the real world? What did I say about being the kind of person who is unique and can outcompete an AI because they have so many unique experiences across the board? What did I say about doing the best every single time you do anything you're going to do? You may as well attack it with 100% vigor. Now is the time to turn your A game on. And it's a very unique period of human history because not only is it the time to turn your A game on because it's required, it's also a time where 16-year-olds can make 20 grand a month inside the real world. It's incredible. When I was 16, it was impossible to make that money. It was truly impossible. This is a short gap in humanity where anyone can become rich. All you have to do is try. Now and now only is a period of human history where anybody can become rich if they dedicate themselves. That's it. If you don't dedicate yourselves now, there's no point trying to dedicate yourself later when the gate is closed. The gate is open. There's a prison break. You can escape the jail right now. But soon all social mobility will be completely destroyed. They're going to close the gate and clamp you down in that little slave quarter. And you're going to stay there. And so is your bloodline for eternity. A couple more super chats, guys. Who should you become before you get rich? I'm 18 years old in school, doing door-to-door sales, boxing, and learning marketing. Fantastic. Those are amazing skills. Life is sales. Convincing a woman to love you is sales. Winning a court case is sales. Work is sales. Life is sales. So, fantastic thing to learn. Boxing, once again, fantastic thing to learn. It's very good. Your body and mind are connected. You cannot have a strong mind without having a strong body. Fantastic. Who should you be before you become rich? Well, money is an amplifier. Money's not going to change who you are. It's going to amplify who you are. If you're a good person, it'll make you a very good person. If you're a bad person, it'll make you a very bad person. If you're a weak person, it'll make you very weak and cowardly and scared. If you're a strong person, it'll make you very brave. Money amplifies. So you actually kind of have to hope that you don't get rich too early before you've struggled enough, because men are built on the back of struggle. You have to go through pain and terrible things as a man and struggle constantly to be a good man. No man who has not struggled is a good man or good at being a man. But don't worry, I think God has a plan for you. You should be trying your absolute best to get rich all of the time. You should be struggling and working as hard as possible. And all of those lessons that will come with all the suffering and the difficulty will be amplified by the time you're a multimillionaire and you'll become the best version of yourself. That's how you become a top G. You just need to wake up every day and be prepared to give 100% focus to all of the things you do. That's all you have to worry about. It's kind of like, if you worry about the work, the results come. The results are easy. Guys, money is easy. Money is easy. Women are easy. The life you want is easy. All you have to do is fall in love with the work. If you fall in love with the work, fall in love with being good at doing your work, getting it done, never missing a day. Because the easiest way to make sure you never miss a lucky day is to try every single day. Lucky days exist. And you're never going to know if you have a lucky day or not unless you try every single day. Then you're never going to miss any lucky days. And you're going to pull it off. And you're going to realize it wasn't actually that difficult. All it took was consistency and constant effort. Never being lazy and doing everything I'm supposed to do properly. Right, we have a lot of super chats here. I'm going to save some of them for the next emergency meeting. I'm going to read out this $300 one. Success is like being pregnant. Everyone says congratulations, but nobody knows how many times you get fucked. Unless you're gay, truly. Thanks. Cheers from the Canada crew. Absolutely. But that's the beauty of success, right? Because all the times you get fucked teach you the lessons you need to be successful in the first place. You would never be successful without getting screwed over. And also, you wouldn't be happy with your success without getting screwed over. The reason you appreciate that woman who's so good to you, who you trust with all your heart, who's loyal to you, is because that other woman cheated on you. If you had never seen a terrible, narcissistic, cheating woman, you wouldn't appreciate a good, kind-hearted one. There is no light without dark. So it's very important that you go through these bad things, one, to learn lessons, but two, to learn gratitude and appreciation for things once you have them. It's extremely important. Every time something bad happens to you, you need to say thank you to God. Thank you, God, for giving me this difficult time, for me to learn lessons, and for me to have more appreciation for my fantastic life in the future. That's how you should approach life. And especially success is exactly the same way. The lessons you'll learn failing along the way will ensure that when you get to the top, you can keep it. Read another super chat here. I'm inside the real world, and I live in a violent household. This affects my work inside the real world. Should I get an apartment with my 8K, or should I buy daddy and wait for it to blow up? I don't know what violent household means. I don't know where you live. It's very difficult for me to answer these questions. But I will say, peace of mind is important, of course. Of course it is. I don't know what you mean by a violent household. It's very difficult for me to answer that question. But what's the bravest choice? I don't know your scenario. Do you think this household could be salvaged? Have you had adult conversations with people? Have you tried to explain, listen, I'm making money online now. There's nothing to fight about. Our financial problems, I'm going to fix them. We're a family. I don't know. I think a lot of situations are more fixable and more salvageable than people want to pretend they are. Running away is great. Everyone thinks about running away, but a lot of things can be fixed most of the time. You know your scenario better than me, friend, but it's something to consider. Guys, I'm going to go through a couple more questions that was sent to me, and we're going to save the super chats for next time. Sometimes I find myself purposely falling off just to feel the fire of shame so I can work. I don't know how to keep that fire going. What should I do? This is a really interesting question, actually, because it amazes me that so many people in the world still today, even though we have instant access via social media to the truly successful, believe anything they've done matters. So you've made 100 grand. You're still poor. That's nothing. That is nothing. 100 grand is nothing. It is my cigar bill for a month. It's nothing. You fucked a girl. You're still gay. You've changed nothing. You've achieved nothing. You need to compare yourself always and constantly to somebody who is outperforming you. You need to stop being so happy with yourself for these tiny little successes. This is what they teach inside of common pop psychology garbage classes. Yeah, and take the small success and be happy with it and put little milestones and reward yourself for achieving the little milestone. No. That's not what you should do. You should compare yourself to people like me and say, Andrew has 75 supercars, hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's resisted a matrix attack, and he was a 4-time world champion, and he has X amount of baby mamas who adore him, and everybody on the planet knows his name, and he's universally respected on every single street he can walk down. I want to be him. I want what he has. I need to compare myself to him. Where can I beat him in what realms? The answer is none. If not me, choose someone else. The point is, the fact you can have a little tiny success and quit shows that there's something wrong with your mentality and your firmware in the first place. You don't know what success is. I don't consider myself successful. So how can you consider yourself successful enough to not work? All I do is work. I work 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, every single day, never missed a day, headache or not. Ever. So I don't understand this mindset. And you see a lot of people do it, right? They'll say, oh yeah, I had a really great week and I'd made some money and now I'm in Costa Rica. You're never going to win that way. People often say to the extremely wealthy people, why do you work all the time? All you do is work. If I was as rich as you, I'd just go on holidays. Not understanding that the kind of person who goes on holidays when they have money is not the kind of person who becomes truly rich. The kind of people who become truly rich are the people who work every day no matter what. Which is why all of the people who are truly rich are workaholics, because it's the only way to really get there. You can get to a certain point once you're a trillionaire, you're Jeff Bezos or whatever, that you can take some days off. I'm not saying that, but the point I'm making is you need to fall in love with being happy with yourself for how hard you've dedicated yourself to a task. That needs to be more satisfying to you than relaxing. Relaxing is probably the most boring thing you can possibly say for me to do. Say, Andrew, do you want to go relax? I'd say, what do I do? Stare at a wall? That sounds terrible. Nothing is worse than relaxing. I don't want to relax. I want to work. That's all I want to do is work. Because if I work and I achieve things, I feel good inside. I got something done. I feel good. I feel happy. If I just relax, nothing's been achieved, so I don't see the point of it. It doesn't even relax me. In fact, it makes me very anxious. Recently, someone tweeted at me. I don't know if we can find the tweet where they said I had an anxiety disorder. Let me bring that up. Because maybe he's right. I don't know, but thank God I have this disorder. Because I said that I either am doing my work or I'm ignoring my work to relax, but I'm anxious about the work I should be doing. So then I feel more stressed than if I was just doing the work in the first place, which is why relaxing is impossible for me. And he said, well, it sounds like you have an anxiety disorder. If it's a disorder that allows me to constantly work all of the time and never be happy unless all of my work is complete, thank God I have it, because if I didn't have this disorder, I'd be a normal jackass like you. I would hate to be a normal normie peon in the mess we're currently in as they inflate the currency and enslave the population. To sit around working a normal job, geographically restricted within one jurisdiction, as the impending and imposing slavery is dragged on top of the population like a huge iron curtain of homosexual bullshit. It's probably the worst example of a masculine existence I can think of, because you don't even resist for your bloodline. You don't even have any honor or glory in your death. You just become insignificant. You just die as a number that nobody even remembers. So if I have an anxiety disorder because I constantly need to work all the time to make sure that I'm as successful as possible and I have weapons to fight back, thank God I have it. What kind of man would I be if I could just go sit down and relax on the beach right now with a pina colada and a blowjob from a dude and ignore all this? It doesn't matter. They're just going to enslave us all. I'm relaxing. You're gay. Relaxing is for gays. It's for homosexuals. You have work to do. So, but that's the normie person's mind. You have a disorder if you're dedicated to making sure all of your work is done all of the time. That's how broken these people are. This is your competition. These are the people you're competing against. Imagine you were in the war room and all the men you spoke to all of the time had this anxiety disorder, and all they did every day was tell you how much work they did and encourage you to come work along with them and give you ideas and say, here, you can come work with us. Imagine how much more you'd get done. Instead, you're talking to your jackass friends who don't do anything with their lives. Of course, you're not doing anything with your life. Guys, time is running out for a chance to win. It truly is. I'm fine. I'm on the right side of the fence. It doesn't matter if this matrix attack puts me in jail or not. I'm going to come out rich. I'm good. You guys are truly running out of time. It's very important that you get your act together quickly. So if you want to call it anxiety disorder, then get one. Don't be talking about headaches. Don't be talking about working. Don't be arguing with women. You have things to do. Right? Doesn't matter if you have a headache or not. You must work. Here's the tweet. Let me load it up quickly. Let me put it on the screen. Here we go. So he says, it sounds like I have an anxiety disorder. I was talking about how I can't relax. I said, probably it makes me a winner. Thank God I have this disorder, so I'm not nobody like you. Anxiety sounds like free energy. Could give me more. Absolutely. Anxiety is exactly that. It's free energy. Nervousness is free energy. The inability to rest or relax or sleep is free energy. You just have to have the discipline to direct it in the correct direction so you can attack the matrix. You need to sit at home and feel this fire inside of you because you do not have all of the money you want, all of the respect you want, and your name has not been echoed into eternity. You're not etched into the halls of history. You need to take all of that fire inside of you and all of that anger and direct it at one task. And you need to try your absolute best to ensure you succeed in that task. We'll teach you the tasks inside of the real world. You can join and we will teach you how to escape the slavery. We'll teach you how to do it. It's down to you. I can't drag you across the finish line. I can only show you where the race is and try and hype you up before you run. I can take you to the start line. I can tell you you can do it. I can tell you how fantastic it is when the race is over. I can tell you it is worth it, but you have to be the one to run the race. I can't carry you. If you're going to ask me stupid questions about headaches, you're never going to make it. There's going to be a huge contingent of the populace that never make it. But when you do, it is worth it because you're remembered. And that's the whole point of being alive as a man in the first place, is to go down in history. It's not to go through life comfortably. It's not to go through life without struggle, without pain. The point of being a man in the first place is so that you suffer enough for people to remember you, to die for something, to live for something. That's the whole point in all of this. There's nothing else to do besides have children and make your name synonymous with something fantastic which has affected humanity and culture. That's all it's about. And it's very difficult to do that if you're insignificant and broke and lazy and stupid with a fucking headache. I'm going to play some videos now from the War Room so you guys can understand the kind of masculine brotherhood you should be indulging in and how different your life would be if you were a part of it. If you have more questions about the War Room, you can go to CobraTape.com and message the live chat and say that you came directly from this emergency meeting, and we'll tell you a few things about how the War Room operates.
Your strips and give them a shot.
Do you see how I just know things? You see how I just know shit? I've just been around the block. I just know shit. Technical people go, oh, there's a technical problem. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's click. It's a fucking lie. Make sure we're live, and then I'm gonna. I don't got my laptop with me. But we can start with Mr. Producer anyway. Mr. Producer. And then I allow people with a brain to work it out. And I add in some hyperbole and some sarcasm to keep the midwits confused. I just say shit. And then the people who are really based get it. And then everyone else is like, oh my God, did you see what he said? He said women can't drive. So yeah, I said it. And then they'll find some female race car driver and like put it in my replies as if it's an own. They don't get it. They don't understand that I'm talking about, in general, depth perception, their reaction to panic, how calm they are under stress. They don't understand the meta point. They're just focused on, I found a girl driving a car, so... Because they're fucking gay. Because they're gay. So when I make points, I don't usually go through the nitty-gritty of the point. Because, you know, I'm above it. Like, I don't really give a fuck. The West is imploding because it's been occupied at a political level by traitors who are now trying to go to war with Russia. Fuck knows why. It's just treasonous. Like, do I really give a shit now at this point? I just saying shit. And hopefully I can get out of the West. I can get out of Europe before it all blows up. We'll see. It is what it is. But I thought I'd explain this one because a few people got confused, including Sneeko. And guys, I know everyone's giving him a hard time right now, but I'm not here to end Sneeko's career. I mean, I could. I'm that guy. But I'm not here to do that to the guy. You know, he's young. He's young. He'll get it. So, you know, whatever. Sneeko has his view. The only reason I even replied to him is because he implied I was Jewish, which he knows is a bit far. It's kind of interesting, you know. I've always noticed this about him. He's kind of passive-aggressive, you know? He's kind of like one of those girls who, like, starts a fight and gets in your face and says, hit me then, hit me, hit me, hit me, and then, like, hits you 3 times, hit me, and then you hit her, and she's like, oh... It's like, you can't just sit there and call me a Jew and then be like, why did he reply that? Like, bro, you need to chill out. Anyway, I have nothing against Sneeko. He's a man on his own journey. I'm not his enemy. I don't need to implode his career. If he wants to ruin his career, he can do it himself, carrying down this asinine path of insanity. So nothing against him. This is not an anti-Sneeko stream. I know all of you are messaging me, bury Sneeko. No, I won't. I'm a merciful man. What I am going to do is explain my tweet. I'm going to explain what I meant. Then we've got some clips here. Supposedly Sneeko's been talking about me. I don't know. I've never watched a Sneeko stream in my life, but supposedly he's talked about me, so we're going to play them, see if there's anything of interest. And then Ryan Dawson's going to be here, who disagrees with me, but he's an extremely intelligent man who said some very smart things, so it'd be very interesting for me to have this conversation with him. Perhaps I'll be corrected. Perhaps I'll change my mind. I'm open to things. You know, like the other day, I let my girlfriend talk with an opinion. I listened and everything. I mean, obviously I told her it was stupid. But I listened. Still won't let her fucking drive, though. No, sir. Anyway, and people are saying, no, like, you know what's kind of funny whenever you mention race? You can't win, right? Because I always say I'm a hybrid human and I'm a daywalker, which is true. I'm half and half, so I've got the best of both worlds. But whenever I say anything, the black people are like, you just want to be white. And the white people are like, you're still a fucking nigger. So it's just kind of like, you know, you can't win no matter what you do. But it's funny. And I tell the truth. I try and say to you guys, I'm 100% white and black. I am both of those things. I can swap in between them. Literally. I say this. I can be at home as a white man going through my court paperwork, preparing for court the next day. Then I can put on Vibes Cartel and call a bitch over and not give a shit if I go to jail or not ever again. I could just change, like shapeshift. I could just stop caring. I could just go, this is the white man's paperwork is offending me. And I've used up all my white power. I'm no more paperwork. Take me to fucking jail. And then me and Tristan will dance around saying we should go to jail. And then we actually want to go. It's a superpower. I know you don't get it. Decal took all my diamonds, but I've still got sapphires, you see? So I've got a sapphire Patek. You know, it's still black of me. It's all iced out, but it's sapphires. It's like elevated, but it's like classy. I'm one of those classy niggers. So yeah, I'm 100% both. This is why I said race is real, because I know it's real. Because I can feel it in myself. It's like you're playing Tekken and you choose a different character, like you change styles. You have different views on the same situation. You're like, do I approach this situation white or do I approach this situation black? And it works. Doesn't matter what it is, any situation. You get in a road rage incident and be like, road rage, oh, he cut me up and he damaged my bumper. I'm going to sue you, sir. Golly gee whiz, I'll see you in court. I could be white. Or I could just get out and smash his fucking head off the front of the car. I mean, I can do both. My point I was trying to make is there's predisposed inclinations towards certain things. You know what actually makes this most interesting? Half of my family is white and half of my family is black. When I'm with all my white cousins, they're all sitting around saying, oh, your black cousins are in jail, huh? And I'm like, yeah, true. And when I'm with all my black cousins, they're like, oh, your white cousins are pussy ass. And I'm like, true. I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I agree with you. I have one black cousin. I won't say his name. I don't want to dox him to the world. He's hilarious. Man, these bitch-ass cops, man. Motherfucking cops stopped me, man. Stopped me, said I was dealing drugs, man. So, bro, you were dealing drugs and you went to jail for it. Yeah, but they stopped me because I'm black. No, they stopped you because you're a motherfucking drug dealer, and they were right, and you went to jail. I'm like, what the fuck? What plan are you on? Yeah, but I was driving at night. He just stopped me because I'm black. He stopped you at night because your car's worth $400. It's 3 a.m. and you're in the fucking ghetto. That's why he stopped you. And then he found a bunch of drugs in your car that you were selling. Where's the racism in this? Man, these bitch-ass cops, man. That cop was black himself. It's remarkable to me. And my white family would be like, oh, your black cousins can't stay out of jail. They're all drug dealers. Me. I'm like, yeah, but they beat the fuck out of you. And they would. So I've seen it all. I've been around. And guys, I idolize my father, who's a black man who was a genius with a genius IQ.
a world-level chess player. Him and Maurice Ashley, the two best black chess players in history. So I'm not saying black people can't be smart. I'm not saying white people are better. I'm saying there's predisposed inclinations. And the reason for those predisposed inclinations is I believe that, in general, humans are going to gravitate towards what they're best at, right? If someone attacks me, because I'm an Aikido master, I'll use Aikido to defeat them. I won't use Taekwondo. I'll use Aikido. You do what you're good at. So if you're big and black and mean, you're not going to think about suing people. That's what skinny little white boys do. Anyway, let's get to the tweet. Let's explain it all. And then we'll go through. Sneeko supposedly had something to say. As if he doesn't always have something to fucking say. We'll deal with him. We're not going to bury Sneeko. Stop asking. I'm not his enemy. I'm a nice man. But he said I wasn't a real Muslim and called me a Jew, so he had to get a bit of smoke. So, I am half black and half white. Wait, let me put it on the screen. Let's produce put it on the screen. Pow, pow, bam. I'm half black and half white. Let me confirm something. Race is real. It's super real. I can literally turn my black side or white side on like choosing a different video game character depending on the situation. Whatever is more advantageous at the time. I can be white in the courtroom, a nigger in jail. I'm a hybrid, the ultimate version of human. But most of you are not hybrid. Most of you are one or the other. The white supremacists who say race is everything are totally right. It is. Ignoring race spells the end of the white man, as the white man's complex systems can be easily overloaded by brutality. White people disagree, court. Black people disagree, kill. Stabbing is easier than suing. It's not right, but it's fast. It's quick, it's efficient, and efficiency wins in the end. White people systems work with white people. Suing only works when suing is the only option. Bottom line, ignore race at your peril. India is India because they're Indians. Norway is Norway because they're Norwegian. You can argue all day about where's better and where isn't, but that is the facts. As a white person, it must be brutally frustrating to see a huge percentage of white people betray their own people. Also frustrating to see people come to white countries and shit on the natives all day, but perhaps white people deserve it for allowing so many white traitors to encourage it. Traitors are the worst. They inspire your enemy. History has always hated rats and traitors for this very reason. They're worse than the enemy itself. The word racist has cucked the white man into surrendering their lands and their women forever. The word racist has turned a large majority of whites into traitors. The white in me feels bad for you. The nigger in me is riding around with white women in Lambos. It is what it is, but race is real. And white supremacists are totally right about this. No white-only country means soon there will be no white people. You will be outbred. You'll be out-violenced. You'll be cucked by words. You'll be betrayed by your own kind. And I am not your enemy for pointing this out. I am your brown friend, confirming you were right all along. But unlike you, I cannot be called racist to any serious effect. That was the tweet. Now, when I said this, Sneeko, a few others got confused and like, oh, he's a white supremacist. You're a nigger, Andrew. You're a nigger. They're never going to like you. You're a nigger. You got that right. You fucking got 100% real nigger. 100% hard R. Ask your girl. Ask her. 100% nigger. I got sapphires. I got baby mamas. I've been to jail. My black card is in check. That has nothing to do with what I've said. That has nothing to do with what I've said. I've said that if white people do not have a white-only country, sooner or later they're going to end up decimated. That's what I've said. That doesn't mean, oh, you said white supremacists are the best. You said white people are the best. Never said that. Where did I say white people are the best people in my tweet? Didn't say that. They're actually losing. So how did I say they're the best people ever? In fact, I said hybrids are the best. I can go to Brazil, say Capasso mi amor or some bullshit, and be Brazilian. When I go Egypt, they talk to me in Egyptian. I could be a nigger. I could be white. I can do it all. I can go to Russia. I go to Mongolia. I'm fine. I'm a hybrid. I got everything. I can run fast. I can do math. I can do both sides. I'm the ultimate male. I don't know what you want me to say to you. The only people I've said are the heroes are the hybrids. Now, my mother went through a whole bunch of hate in the 80s for dating a black man. My mother went through a whole bunch of shit for that, but it made me perfect. Someone actually quite astutely pointed out to me, well, is your mother a race traitor? I said, that's actually a very interesting point. But then, I guess, when you understand the world, you understand women ain't loyal to shit anyway. Women are only loyal to their own feelings unless they have a patriarchal force that's forcing them to be loyal to anything, whether it's their race or their religion or their country. Women don't give a fuck about anything. So if her dad didn't keep her ass in check, I guess some fucking nigger picked her ass up and here I am. What do you want me to do about it? But hybrids are the superhumans. I never said white people are the best. I said that the brutality will overwhelm your systems because your systems are based on civility. And you have been cucked and constrained by morality. And that is the point I'm trying to make, which is extremely important here. So let's break the whole tweet down little by little. Let's go through it. Line by line. I'm half black and half white. True. Actually, to be technical, my white side is half English, half Irish. My black side, I don't know. We traced it back. And the black side of me were slaves for the Tate and Lyle sugar. You know the blue and white sugar packs, Tate and Lyle? I don't even know that. That was me. Tate and Lyle sugar. That's why I'm so sweet. And then white, my mother's half Irish, half English. Race is real, it's super real. I can turn on my black side or my white side